going to do a French plait in the hair. We're going to start by getting a triangular section along the top. It's got to be sort of parallel and central. So try and just get yourself a small panel. Check that you're in the centre, which that panel is. Comb that down. Section the hair into 3, like so, and then take this side and put it into the centre. Then hold this underneath, make sure you keep your tail comb in your hand, fingerprint on there, and bring that hair over and hold it. Now we're going to start adding from the side. So take nice thin slithers of hair, comb the rest down and keep that combed up. Keep it nice and taut, and then find this underneath piece, hold it nice and secure, fingerprint on the middle, and over we go again. Add a bit from the side. So we're just alternating our sides now. Panel it underneath, on there, take that over, and then add a bit from this side. You can use your finger if you like I'm doing there, or you might want your line to be really clean, where you can just literally pick it from your finger and let the rest drop so that you get a really short line. Give it a bit of a comb just to keep any sort of lumps and bits out of it, so it keeps it nice and smooth. Hold it nice and close to the head. Same with the other side. Plait like this would be for maybe a special occasion. It might be that you've been a bridesmaid, or it might be that it's for school and you want it sort of up and out the way. It could be for work. It's very good for if somebody's hair's quite long and you want it to be out the way, feeling nice and secure and tidy, and still look good throughout the day. Fingerprint in the middle, and over we go with that. Add a bit from the side. When you first start plaiting, you sort of feel like you haven't got enough hands, and the more times you have a go and practice, then the easier and the better it becomes for you. You can see how I'm just combing it, because there's all some sort of loops and lumps that just move along as you're trying to comb it through. Those need to be combed out so that it's nice and smooth all the way to where the plait is sort of been knotted here. Add a bit from this side now, so all I'm doing is just alternating each side each time I'm going down. Take a little bit more there. Try and keep it that you're taking it evenish from both sides, so that you're not taking a great big chunk on one and only a little bit on the other. Keep this as tight as you can. You can see how close I am to the head there. If I don't, then I'll end up with it being quite baggy, and the plait will feel loose, it'll soon come out, and it'll be uncomfortable for the client. Give that a good comb there. Just going to slightly tip the client's head forward because I'm reaching the crown area, and I've got to make sure that that hair is really nice and close to the head. Again, just swapping it over, keeping it nice and tight all the way down. Taking your panels and keeping it nice and neat all the way down. Make sure you keep checking it and having a good look at it. At first, sometimes you might find that your plait doesn't go central, and it's all about trying to keep it tight, it taut, making sure that it's smooth, but also keep making sure that the plait is running nice and central down the back of the head as well. You might choose to start this plait at the bottom and work your way up to the crown and leave it as like a bit of a pineapple sort of effect. You have to move that head slightly further down again. I'm reaching the occipital bone now, which is an area where the head will naturally sink in. So really keep concentrating that your hair is pushed down to the scalp at this point, otherwise your plait will come away from the head and it won't feel as secure. Keep it nice and tight. Probably would finish this off with some hairspray or some serum, because they're all little sort of fluffy bits that pop up, and you need to try and eliminate those and keep them as smooth as possible. Some stylists would do this plait wet. It's entirely up to you. It depends how long you want to keep the plait in for. If you do it wet and you keep it in overnight for a couple of days, then the plait will, when you take it down, be quite curly. We do have another video on actually how to remove the plait afterwards to make sure that you don't damage the cuticles, so it's worth having a look at that as well. Nearly getting down to the bottom now. This is part of the last little bit of the plait. Keep it pushed nice and close down to that scalp all the way down. If you quite happily and nicely ask the client to pop a head forward, then they'll happily pop the head down to make it nice and easy for you. Just in a bit of a loop there, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to let go of the plait. I'm just going to pick it back up there again, just to nip that loop in a little bit more. Just make sure it just keeps it that bit tighter for me. There we go, that's better. Keep it plaiting all the way down, right down to the bottom of the neck. Get all these little bits in now. And plait it all the way down. I'm going to plait it right the way down to the bottom. Some clients might have it stopped in the sort of nape of the neck. Depends what the client wants. At this point now, I'm going to put my comb down, pop a bobble on. This is a professional hairband. You can get these at any hairdressing suppliers or wholesalers. You should have them in your hairdressing kit as well. I'm going to lift the client's head up now. Normally I wouldn't grab a chin, she wouldn't actually do it for me. And then I'm just going to pop some spray on the sides. Make sure you go over first when you're spraying, so that you don't spray it in the client's eyes. Usually about 20 centimetres away from the head, just so that you're smoothing all these little bits down. If you want to put a little bit of serum on the hair, sometimes that will just help to smooth out any little pieces as well. I'm going to finish this off with some hair ornamentation, quite popular to use. I'm just going to bob a little sort of flower in the side there, and that's it, the finished plait.